So I feel like that's that's a direct correlation to how we are creating our reality and the momentum that we hop on in that process. Because change sucks for most people. Change is scary. Change is intimidating. It's hard. And that's kind of that. I think of that as how the rocket has to take off. That initial launch is hard. It takes all that fuel.
I have so much to say about that. It's so necessary. Go on. I think this subject is very on the fashion. I call it fashion at the moment. It's very fashionable at the moment because everybody's teaching how to manifest. But most of us, and I know a few people that are teaching, they are not able to manifest. And some of us, we are able to manifest, but there's ways of manifesting because it's all related with time, as we're going to manifest, as we perceive time to be.
Right.
Hello, everyone.
We got Tina joining us.
Tina.
I don't know who else is on here. We got a couple more viewers.
Tina, you want to say right? Because Tina, sorry to interrupt, Joey. This is very important for us because we're going through a similar patch at the moment. And although the subject could be anything, manifesting, anything, we want to talk about time. How is this time is so important in manifesting process? Right. So Tina has connected with my questions yet, but I will ask them through the night, and I want anybody that is watching to engage and be there with us to understand how to manifest and what this manifesting has to do with this time. Because as we know, everyone knows, time is just an illusion. So I put a question mark at the beginning of the introduction. Is this time just an illusion? Or are we just playing our own stories and we are just uploading something that we already played before and now we're leaving it for real?
Right. Yeah. No, I think today's show will be a lot of fun. We can take it down some different avenues for sure. Related to time, I really was inspired this week. I did an interview that'll come out later this month with Jordan Mendoza, and he was talking a lot about the idea of momentum. And momentum, it made me think, we need momentum. It helps build us. It literally helps us dissolve time. But, the idea with momentum in the manifesting process, it can work both ways. It's like a pendulum, you can fall on the negative, you can fall on the positive. I was interpreting it as when we build momentum, when we grab that frequency, when we start to ride on that wave of momentum, so to say, it can go either way. I think it can take us in a really positive direction. It can take us in a really negative direction, but it all comes back to our mindset and where we allow everything to go. Absolutely. So I feel like the whole concept of momentum coupled with time, it really, there's a whole topic here that we can just dive in deep to, because it does have to do with mindset and the way we view or the way we imagine the world to be is literally how this is all, as we discuss every week, this is how we're creating it, right? But how to positively jump on the right frequency, the right wave. So yeah, I'd love to dive into all of that stuff as we get to moving through the hour here. I see Sally Elka's joining us. Good to see you, Sally.
Lovely. We need to do an interview together.
Yeah, we got to get you on the show. Let's get something rescheduled for sure. Diana said, Happy Women's Day to all the ladies. Yes, absolutely.
Yes, it's International Women's Day. Happy day to you, darling.
All right. Well, let's kind of get going here. We've kind of broken down, outlined the show more or less. So we'll get it started. Anybody want to ask questions? Feel free to chime in.
Please, love to hear this.
I did a little research before the show, and as far as momentum's concerned, and the law of momentum, I think it's Newton's third law. Once something is in motion, it will remain in motion unless there's any sort of resistance. It's just like a rocket taking off. it takes so much energy, so much power and fuel to launch it through our thick, heavy, dense atmosphere here on Earth. So once it breaks free into the outer solar system or outside of the Earth's gravity, it has zero resistance, and it can perpetually just keep going forever with the same momentum. So exactly. I feel like that's that's a direct correlation to how we are creating our reality and the momentum that we hop on in that process. Because change sucks for most people. Change is scary. Change is intimidating. It's hard. And that's kind of that. I think of that as how the rocket has to take off. That initial launch is hard. It takes all that fuel.
I have so much to say about that. It's so necessary. Go on. You just
love it. I knew you would flow right into this topic once we got going with it. So yeah, it's like we each have our own minds creating this reality that's either working for us or against us, depending on how we view it. And that resistance that's slowing us down are all of those thoughts, all of the illusion we're living in, the illusion of time, the illusion of, things actually being real. And it always goes back to, we got to remove the resistance. What's the resistance? Whatever's stuck in between here, the 6 inches, the 8 inches. So I think once we get that momentum moving forward, it becomes easier and easier to see our manifestation start to become real. But we can't do it until we kind of clear some of that dense, whatever's holding us down.
It's so to do.
Take it from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. You spoke so much in such short time that I'm overwhelmed with this. I have so many, for anybody that's watching, I have so many momentums that I can now differentiate between how to manifest and when. Because like most people know, I was stuck in a paradigm you call it, for a very long time. And for 4 years, I felt like I lived in imprisonment, because it was not just like I was not doing it, right? Because we need to do something. We need to action on it. Sometimes it has to do with our alignment and what we perceive time. Okay. I wanted you to know that I had a few questions earlier on, and I put them down one by one. And I've asked myself many times, is this time that I'm waiting here is moving forward? Because for me, it was like it was not moving. So if it was not moving for 4 years, nothing happened, it's because time does really not exist. Okay, let's put yourselves in this scenario. You are in a certain place and you feel like already it's gone 2 years. And you say 2 years, I can't remember, I've been there 2 years because nothing. Let's talk about the COVID. 2 years is already gone. And nobody understands how on earth 2 years is just gone. There was really a time, because we seem to go back to normal, like nothing happens again. Was there a time that the universe said to us, let's stop, because this is going to be so fast going, you're not going to be able to track it down. So it's already happened, and this story already been unfolded somewhere, but we just replaying again as a human species. We are replaying. And when I start to manifest things to happen, I've noticed, and I'm sure everyone that is watching this is going to agree, if you are desperate, forget it, because you're not going to have it.
Yes. Very well said. True.
It's not going to happen, girls and boys. But if you speak with conviction, and I've done this twice this year already, and I have a gentleman on my property group that is a live witness that I've sent a message to him because I was in need of something, a large sum of money again, and he didn't have. He said, you know what, everybody's showing they good food and gym and this good life, but everybody's skint. He said, I said, really? Wow. Okay, I'm gonna manifest this right now. So I put a sum. This is talking about time, how important it is. For me, that time was precious. It was my now moment, okay? My now moment. So I wrote down the figure I wanted, and I said I want it for tomorrow. I didn't ask for next week, next year. I said tomorrow, I love you. and I understood these challenges for my greatest good, and I expect this to be tomorrow. And I put the amount, the sum, which actually 1.5. It's a lot of money. And then I was like, wow, what I'm going to do with it, I'm going to trust, because this is my momentum now. No resistance, as you spoke just now. Fold it, and then the pillow, blue pen, by the way, guys and girls, no black pen. There's a reason for that. So I put it down, slept on it, put it under my pillow. Next day, I woke up, made 2 phone calls, and the money was there available.
We need like fireworks like to go off when you do stuff, when you talk about things like that. Like there should be a button I can push to make fireworks go off behind you.
We should, because this is true, because I have one investor that is a witness of this, because I had to make this payment. So the investment was really nicely had a profit today, and I was able to pay it as well. So when things happen with certainty, when the momentum is on and you have zero doubt, this is the second time this happened for me this year in a space of 6 months. We're talking about a large sum of money of nearly 30K that I was able to manage to do it in just a very short time of space, not having any resistance. Now, when I say the momentum is not sometimes our momentum, is when we show resistance and desperation. For example, I said, I want this to be finished now, but as more as I want it now, if it's like kind of the voice is like desperate, it's not going to happen. So I have to stop the resistance and say, okay, you know it when it should be for me, and you will do it. You will move it forward in your time. Because in my understanding, I don't know if there's anybody there wants to make some questions. We are just watching ourselves, our story a little bit at a time. And I actually wrote it down. What if this story that we live in, it's unfolding for us, and our entire life is just a video uploading? But the only thing is, the difference is, in our reality, we don't have a push forward and reverse button, and we just have to play it because we are forced to experience it like a sort of DVD moment. How about somebody, our viewers, to start to engage? Please, I want to see what
I agree with you there. I think we're forced to experience the moment now until we learn from the moment. Once we transition into that 5D, we can now choose when to rewind, fast forward, and which role we want to hop into, which movie we want to join, at that moment in time. You said something important, then we'll get to some questions Tina's got. On the things that you were able to manifest, the money and whatnot, you said zero doubt. You had zero doubt. And I think that's such key, because zero doubt removes the resistance. That resistance is the fear, is the doubt that we have of ourselves. That's what holds us back from finding that momentum. The momentum, the idea is we build off of the momentum. We build off of our small little wins. Each day is a little win, a little bit closer, a little bit closer. Are we going to hit, as we're still learning this power, are we going to achieve success instantly every time? Hell no. We don't even know how this works for the most part.
Ways, by the way, not just money. Success comes in many ways, not just money, by the way.
Correct. So it's the idea is we have to be able to see all the little incremental successes, no matter how big or small they are. We have to be able to see them, build upon them each day, which is going to allow us to remove that doubt, get to that point of zero fear, zero doubt in its actually, in its the fact it's going to happen. Then by doing so, we build that momentum. We build the momentum, which allows easier and easier manifestations, because we start to believe. We start to have that faith in knowing that what I say, my words have power. This is true. I create this. And I think that's what's bringing us closer and closer to this transition of moving into 4th and 5th dimensions, where we can now compress time, space, remove it from exist. It doesn't even need to exist.
I was going to say nothing exists, basically. So time is just an illusion. What is the question that Tina has?
First one. I love this one. Tina said, can we only create our own reality? So that's a very awesome question to go down, because the answer is yes and no.
Yeah, I was gonna say yes and no as
If
well.
you want to, you take it from there, and then I'll fill in, Liliana.
Okay, so Joey knows this better than me, but I understood already. Listen, Tina, you know me very well, because we're very good friends, and you know that I had my challenges in my life, and some things are programmed, okay, for our highest good. One of the things we need to understand, that's why I love being on the show every single week, because I want to give value of something that nobody ever told me how to do it. I had to learn from my own experiences only. Okay, I haven't paid a mentor to teach me. I become my own mentor by understanding my own intuition, my God within. And as you experiment, you ask and you shall receive, and then you ask and you receive, and you ask, and sometimes you don't even receive, and you have to be able to understand what's the wisdom behind not receiving. Okay, now I understood from Tina, from your question, yes and no, I say, because one thing is, sometimes we ask for things that are not good for us, although we want them. They're not meant to be in our life anymore. They serve their purpose, they have to go. And when we ask and we not receive on the momentum we need, it's because time, it doesn't exist, but we can create anything, yes, but remember, we are programmed also. The program is for us to deprogram or program again. It's either we play our stories like the remote control. We say repeat, or you say rewind back or pass forward. Does that make sense at all to any of you that watching? Please, if that makes sense, tell me. If not, I'll explain. Joey, what do you think of that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, that's the idea of time, how we perceive it, and how we're experiencing it here.
Because
as far as the question, can we create just our reality, or are we creating for others? I think for me the answer is yes and no, because one, we're the only one that exists. Even though we're in a collective, we're all part of God. We're all part of Source. We're all interconnected. So therefore, I am you, you are me. We are all one, but we are each individual energetic entities that we're all creating together. Now, I think it gets down deep where you're trying to think, can I imagine a future or a reality for my loved one? Yes, you can. You can imagine the reality you want to see happen to that loved one. Is that reality actually happening to that loved one, or are we creating it in our own movie, and it's only being played out for our own enjoyment, our own fulfillment of creating this movie for our loved one, who may or may not actually be there experiencing it, because they're just a projection of us? And it's kind of a catch-22. When you get into it, it's like, do they really exist? And if so, are we creating for them, or are we creating for our selfish purposes to experience more of ourself, i.e. God and the universe? So I don't know. What you kept pointing to your ring. What was that about?
This is for Tina, because Tina and I were going through similar experiences. So yes and no and no. Program, something that we can't do much about it, because as Joey said, we are one. We have to experience everything, and every single bit of our personalities. Are we going to encounter people that are going to reflect anything that needs healing and dealing with is going to come to us. As we experience things and we want them for ourselves, yes, we can create a new reality for ourselves, because we already been in this reality. We just don't remember anything of it, which is soul contract that leads tides into time again, and manifesting. Soul contracts, maybe you think that that's nothing to do with manifesting, but it is, because we manifest everything. We attract everything because we already manifested somewhere. So I've got a ring on my finger because I decided to let go. Everybody knows my story, and I keep telling my story over and over again. I let go with somebody that I didn't want because we vibrated in different levels. It does hurt to watch it go, but you know what? I'm creating the reality that I already have somebody. This is based on some lecture that Brian Scott read for us on one of these books. I can't remember which one was. And he said, if you want to visualize something for you that's going to be for your highest good, I've experienced a few sets of different relationships already in my lifetime. Okay, so I had my first. I don't mind to tell my story because I'm genuine and I tell people how to live in authenticity. So I had my first husband that died with tumor, lost him, gone. Then my second husband, which was my son's father. There was a little bit hiccups on our relationships. We both fail. I think I fail a lot as well. But move far forward, I'm not going to say I'm a saint because I don't want people to perceive me as a saint because everybody think, oh, she got a life, perfect life. No, guys. Before I meant to heal, I had to deal, and I had to deal with a lot of pain. Then I met this guy, which I keep saying, and I don't do this for to hurt anymore or anyone. But perhaps I was like him, somewhere in reality, which was a truly a narcissist, and he's robbed me of life and robbed me my personality. And then I say, okay, I've done 1, 2, 3 soul contracts. Let me my fourth, my last. So I'm telling this, Tina, because I'm going to tell you a small story if you want to listen, which is a very small, short story that's going to create reality, and everybody's going to watch it happening because this is live. Okay, this small story is my first husband that died. I was very young. I was 17 years old. I did not know anything about life. I just wanted to move out of my house because my stepfather used to hit my mom very hard. She used to go to hospital with a face like this, and I was desperate to get out of my house. So I became pregnant on purpose so I could get out. Then he died with tumor, 19 years old. He was a very young, 26 years old. What I say, 19 years old. And I now manifested for him to reincarnate. Okay, this is serious creation, right? I have manifested for him to reincarnate again. Obviously, it's not going to be the same face. It's probably not going to see the same body. It's not going to be the same thing, but it's going to be the same person that I want to meet and stay with for the rest of my life. This is reality creation, guys, when we're manifesting with our time. This is my time. That's why I'm using this, because he's going to come back and we're going to go on a soul journey together, because I believe we already been on many journeys and many planets together. How about that, Tina? You can create everything.
Absolutely. You can. And the next question, I got it on the screen here from Tina as well. She said, do you think people are working off of memory and not doing things with love? If that makes sense. And yes, absolutely, 100% that makes sense. The way in this three-dimensional world that we live in this realm, we've been alive. We've had so many we've been incarnated so many times here. We have so many memories, so many soul memories. We physically can only remember one at a time when we're here, right? And the purpose is to try and start remembering all of the memories of all of those carnations. And, so the memories, at least at this lifetime, that's what we're operating on. That's what causes our reactions. That's what causes us to get angry, to get sad, to get excited, to be happy. It's all because of the programmed memories that we have from real young as a child, from birth, even before birth. We get our memories. A lot of our memories are programmed through hormones and whatnot. So when you're in the mom's womb, literally what she's feeling, any fear, anxiety, anger, excitement, good or bad, those hormones are going into the baby. So they are already programming us before we're even born. But once we're born, we start acquiring all the memories, all the experiences of life that we're sent here to remember and to experience. Some are good, some are bad, but they're all working for our best goal in mind, for the end result, whatever that may be for us, whatever our soul mission, our contract was. So we're here to learn the lessons. We use the memories to direct us, to guide us. My opinion is, once the memories no longer affect us in a negative way, once they no longer sway us into negativity, then we've learned that lesson of what that memory was here to teach us, what that emotion is tied to. So I think it's no longer becoming triggered by specific memories. And when we can no longer get triggered in a negative way, where does that take us? It's got to go in a positive way, in a loving way. So for me, when I went back and rewrote my DNA and rewrote my past, I went back and I took memories that I had completely forgotten about, and I resaw those memories in a loving, compassionate way, in a way of forgiveness. So I rewrote those memories, which created new feelings within me. Those feelings became so powerful, that energy became so powerful, it manifested itself into my reality, where I completely changed and rewrote my biological DNA. I'm now the son of a doctor and not an alcoholic, womanizing man who abandoned me at birth. And it all happened because of love. But I took that love and applied it directly to a physical memory that I have. And so that's, yes. So are we using memory? Do we need to use more love? Yes. When we use that love, when we use that frequency of love, it opens the door to all possibilities. It opens the door to the infinite and to spirit. And once we're there, we can connect in any which way we want to create the reality to be. Mm-hmm. What do you have to say about that?
I say the same, because basically I know what she's coming from with that question. It's very love some people that hurt us, right? And I'm sure Tina can't see your questions or anything, so I'm just giving feedback from what you said.
Do they not show up on your screen there?
No, they never show up. No, never. Because
well, I've got it posted in the feed. Like maybe because you're on your phone, it's not.
I need the glasses more. Yeah, I need the glasses. So what I say, next time I'll bring the glasses, because I can see something there. Basically, when we come from the place of love, it's so hard. I mean, Tina and I, we're going through the same patch. I mean, it's a mixture of feelings which comes with pain, because we see other people showing more unloved reactions on how they're behaving towards us. I mean, once we let them go freely with love, without any doubt that everything is for our highest good again, because everything is for our highest good, Gina. Everything is when a lot of people now, to answer your question, like right away, we can see straight away that people are living different realities. We already living in split realities. There's no denying about it. Some people keep saying on the wall, on this, on the other, and I am not even there, okay? So I even block a guy because he was saying about this. So you agree with it. Anyway, because my place is love. Okay? So when you come from the place of love, this is your question. Yes, we can operate in love, and the people are more. What was the question again about what the other side of love was?
Yeah. Do you think some people are working off memory and not doing things with love? So memories.
Because we all came here with a purpose, whether they remember or not, they assign to it. Okay, whether they remember or not, everything is memory, subconscious. In our new ways of living, everything goes back to the memory and conscientious mind. So every single person right now on the planet decided they will come to do a play. So whether they're acting with love or memory, they can't remember. Some of them can, some of them can't. So if they remember, or if they're more aware of or more knowledge about what's going on, or shift realities, yes, they will operate from love, 100% sure. If they don't remember, they don't even know the purpose, they don't even know the play, they don't even know anything about the illusion or the new reality, they still operating from the memory. They can't remember, so they're just playing until they will remember eventually. So that's, I don't know if this answers your question, but it's a yes and no, depends on who's playing and how they're playing. I'm playing from a place of love, although sometimes it's so hurtful to see certain things. I say to myself, I created them. Remember everything we create. So even we like it or not, even relationships, we create this for ourselves because we had to learn something with them. If that makes sense, does that answer your question, Tina?
She responded here. She said, yes, so much confusion and conflict. Tina, are you confused in conflict, or are you making a point, an observation that there's so much confusion and conflict out there in the world? I want to know how to answer this for you here.
I mean, if Tina, if you remember that, because you are a awoken woman, you now remember, so you are forced to experience your own play. So you are replaying your own life, whether you remember or not, because this is all comes from memory again. You might not remember, but you already done this. You just replaying it. So you just don't know how to rewind. I'm gonna make a small example, if that makes sense. Okay, so the thing that distinguishes now it's this morning, the time I'm talking about. So we are now, but we can distinguish time from this morning. So this morning was this morning, and now it's now. And when we understand that the time is just an illusion, and we are just a memory of our own game, we can't fast forward because we don't know how it's going to turn up. We have to create it. But we understand that we remember the past because we already done it. We already experienced, if that makes sense. So if we experience the past, we already done that bit of the play. It's easy for us to memorize the past because we already lived it, if that makes sense. So now we live the past, we memorize the past, as we have good memories and bad memories, right? But now is the now. That now we're talking about, well, a few minutes ago was not now anymore, was it? Because 6 o'clock is now 6:35 in UK, so 34 minutes has passed, but we don't know if how long we've been on here. So this is the time of now. But we remember there was this morning as well, so this morning is gone. Is there really a time, or just time is just an illusion? So when we think about the past, we memorize it. We think, oh, this experience, I don't want to go to that experience again. So now you don't want to go to that experience. Now you have a chance to create a new reality because you already experienced something that you remember, if that makes sense with your question. Does that make sense, Tina? That make sense?
She said it was more of an observation as far as confusion and conflict. But she said, yeah, like some things make no sense. Rewriting for my highest good. Oh, she said, yes, that makes sense. So let me see. Yes, so people are repeating and some are saying it ends here and changing our reality. So yes, that's, I think, the hardest part for people to understand in the way we create our reality is you have to believe without a shadow of a doubt that every single thing in your perception of reality, good or bad, is happening for you in the absolute best way it's supposed to happen, even though it's painful, even though it's bullshit, even though you can't understand why God would punish you in such a way. Nobody's punishing anybody. It is simply the illusion, the game we chose to come and play. And it's our job, it is our duty to remember this. It is our duty to understand that I am creating this exact beauty or bullshit for me to learn from. And that's what it means to take yourself back and be the observer of your life and to be present in that moment and kind of observe what is happening, why, and see the behind the scenes. Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt, but I think it's important that because I forget things very easily when they come to my mind. In my understanding, we're already living in so many realities. So there's no time in those realities. Nothing. In a quantum, there's no time. So let's say we live in here now, we are in 3 density, or because we go back to there now, we can, as awaken, we can go back to the 3D. We can say, yes, we can go back. If I want to go climbing today and do a lot of shit together, I can go back and do it, right? It's a decision if I want to stay there or if I want to stay in 5D or 4D, whatever you want to call it. So if you imagine now that we've been traveling far from back and forth, people say this doesn't happen or didn't happen yet, but it will be happening in the future. In my reality, I already been and gone. So, and there's no time. It's very confusing, Tina, but it makes sense when you understand that you are just already uploading everything in this 3D realm. You just upload. It's like you watching, you go home, and DVDs are not very common anymore. I mean, everybody watching whatever in YouTube is very popular. But if you play the YouTube something that someone just made a little program for you to watch, it's already been done. We're just replaying it. So if we just replay, it's exactly the same with our lives. We just believe in now. I mean, I believe now. I've already played this game that I'm playing now. I'm just pressing the button and say, go. If that makes sense to you guys, because it's very scary.
It's, then let's go back to something we talked about a couple weeks ago. I think it's like, if you imagine reality, it's infinite, right? There's an infinite number of routes we can go. Each one has already happened, or each one has the potential of happening. It just depends on where we align our frequency, where we give our attention, where we give our thoughts, where we give our belief. And once we put that energy there, it can jump literally right to that reality, or jump to this reality, or jump to that reality. But that's the idea of creating the reality. Once you figure out how to pull yourself towards it, we align with it, we go, and we use momentum to take us there faster and faster. But you can also have, out of all those infinite numbers of reality, a lot of bullshit realities and a lot of things that suck and a lot of pain if you align with those frequencies.
Pain doesn't exist. Pain is a thought. I mean, I have experienced a lot of pain myself, and I was in a not so good place in my mind. And I said, but this is just a thought. I'm giving my attention to it. If we give attention to the thought, it's like going back, and it's like you haven't learned anything. You just, yes, the pain is there. Yes, the pain is real, but it's just a play. Remember, for example, you love somebody for 7 years or 4 years, and you think, oh, I don't need this person in my life. But then you start missing this person, because this happened to me, right? And you think, but he's an idiot. He's just not for me. His frequencies, vibration is so terrible. I used to do this all the time. When the guy was in me, I was like, your vibration sucks. I shouldn't say that, really, because I was sucked myself for saying that. But because the pain is there, you miss it. But anything, you say to yourself, this is just the thought, because this is what I create. I've got messages from 2 years ago stating exactly the plan that I created for myself. I play this plan. Listen, this is very important. I played this plan 2 years ago. It was 2019. Okay, 2022 just started, and I made a live video. I celebrated. I was free. I was already playing. I was not remembering. Now this has happened. I just come to remember because it came to pass. So those memories that I created came back now. Why? Because I was doing them then. If that makes sense. So everything is like nothing ever happened, but everything happens in a simultaneous same time in realities. So when it comes to manifesting, people don't know what, because this is all the same subject, because we're talking about time and manifesting. It's up to us. One, if you want to get somebody, you cannot be stuck indoors all the time and expect that this somebody is going to fall from the sky and say, hey, I'm an alien, come to visit you. I'm going to come to marry you. It's not going to happen like that, right? It's like...
Yeah, you have to take action for sure.
Yes.
Tina said, following up with that, she said, thank you so much. So hold tight through the BS. Says it gets messy till it gets magical. Yes, yes, absolutely. Everything is BS. It's all an illusion that we're here to understand. It's like the Wizard of Oz. You pull back the curtain and there he is, controlling this joystick and everything. That's all we're doing with our lives. Once we realize that we're the ones with the joystick, we can start to direct ourselves in the right path, in the right direction, and it starts with the right thoughts. The right thoughts imagine more and more of what you want. So don't get caught up in don't let the bullshit get in. The bullshit's gonna be there. That's part of the illusion. That's part of the game.
I see a lot of that to be true, because for 2 years, and I have so many things that I've done, I wrote down, and they all happen. I didn't realize that it was going to come until I saw one by one happening. And then I say, but why I'm feeling like this? If Liliana, I create them for my highest good. So if I want to stay in the 3D reality and live with that same vibration and whatever, I will not create them. I say, I'm very comfortable, I'm so happy, I've got somebody, I've got this and I've got that, but it was not going to take me anywhere. Look how far I've gone. Just giving podcasts, telling my life stories, my life experiences to I'm not even a teacher. I don't know sometimes what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about everything that I lived and I learned, because I now remember this is my play. And my play I already played somewhere along the line. It's just up to me to rewind back and forth. So, for example, when that day last week, if I was obviously needed this large amount of money, I said, I've approached this guy, I was like, maybe he can help me, because he perceives to be one of those that has, quite a bit. But what is that quite a bit means? What people make you believe is not reality. Reality is what you create. So I create a reality that, okay, this person cannot help me, but it's going to happen without a doubt. No doubt, zero. I create. So some things we can create now, some things we can create tomorrow, because something happened for 2 years ago to me to happen now. Some things universe know you have to give it a little bit of their time, not our time, because it doesn't exist. So is the resistance that Joey said. For example, if I want to stop the rain, sometimes I say, please stop, and I'm convicted that it's going to stop. But if I'm doubting, it will not stop. To me,
you have no prayer of stopping it, no chance if you doubt that you can do it. But if you believe you can do it, 1 out of 10 times it happens. Oh, wow. Now I did it 1 out of 10 times. So maybe 2 out of 10, then 3 out of 10. And before you know it, you've convinced your mind that you can do it. And the convincing of your mind is more powerful than any other force out there.
Absolutely. Last week, my builder said, we need a few days good weather. And I said, because it was raining all week, I said, okay, laugh at me if you want, because this is a live show for everybody's going to come to watch it and call me crazy, because I don't care. And I said to him, okay, tomorrow is Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, men don't work Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, I will stop the rain. And I did. But they didn't come in. They only came in a few hours in the afternoon on Friday. And I was like, but I did stop the rain. Now they said, oh, can you stop it again for this week? I said, no, I gave you a chance last week. I'm not going to manipulate the weather every time. It's not how you want it. It's how, So, for example, today it rained again, and they need, I need 4 or 5 days clear. Maybe now I'm putting some resistance because I've seen the weather forecast for the next 2 weeks. All right. Yeah. If I didn't see the weather forecast, and this is how you call me crazy, and a lot of people around here already saw me coming out, and I said, stop, I'm out, and the rain stops. This is no lie. This is true. I've done it many times, and the rain stopped. And there was a little boy passing by, and he said, how did you do that? I said, I just did. He was covered, soaking wet. And I said, next time you come out, you do this. Stop, I'm coming out. So I go to the high street and come back, and then it stops rain while I'm going back. And as soon as I put my foot on the door, this is reality creation. I'm talking about time now for me. As soon as I put my foot on the door, it rains like heavy. So we have powers. We just don't use them.
Imagine where we'd be in this world. We're right exactly where we're supposed to be, but imagine where we'd be in this world if they didn't burn witches back in the 16 and 1500s. Because, I mean, it sounds to me, just listening to you talk, it's like, oh, I'm controlling the weather. I can make it rain or stop. And it's like, this is the same thing that witches were doing back in the day. They were manifesting reality, and I think people were so afraid, the church, the religion was so afraid that these women and men, sorcerers, magicians, whatever, that we were learning these powers hundreds of years ago. So how do they suppress them? How do they control the population? They burn the witches, they lock up magicians in dungeons, because we'd figured out this ability that we all possess, know.
Is Michelle saying?
Michelle said, I wanted to put this one up because it's something I think good to respond to here. She said, thank you. I felt a feeling, same as past, and denied it as seemed to be too good to be true. But in reality, that feeling was good, and I only denied myself of it because that good feeling I had did end bad. But I'm assuming now I can turn it into good and perfect by learning. So
yes. If it's good for you, go. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine. Everything, is how we choose to see it. And when we deny ourselves the ability to feel good, it reinforces that we shouldn't feel good, that we don't deserve to enjoy the moment. You know, I suffered from this a lot in the past. Was I didn't appreciate and see all the amazing achievements, all the amazing things happening to me, all the opportunities for me to enjoy life. I spent a lot of my life worried, fearful, wanting more, not allowing myself to have the joy because I didn't feel I was worthy of having that sort of joy or that sort of love, only to find out that I'm worthy of anything I desire, and I can have anything because I am an infinite being of God. I'm part of God. Why would I come here and deny myself all the fruits of my labor? I'm here to appreciate and enjoy it. So all that time I spent thinking I was unworthy, not deserving of it, was just more of the illusion, more of the lie that we project ourselves into so that we can learn the lessons. So it's all a big learning lesson, a big game, and we're all just at different grade levels. That's all. You know, some people are in 10th grade, some people are seniors. It doesn't matter.
We're just watching a little bit of the play at a time. It's one bit of play at a time, and the story keeps unfolding. That's why I want this manifestation that we're talking about today. And I'm actually closing my eyes because I've already asked for somebody that is out there and watch this program. My finger has a ring on it because I am already married with someone that is going to come, that lived many lives already. We've been in many planets together, and I lived a life that I couldn't explore it because I was not worthy enough, and his very young life was taken away, and I'd never apologized because of what I did, because I left him when I was 7. I was a child, for goodness sake. I was 17 years old. I ran away from my house because my father used to beat up my mom. I married this guy, which is my daughter's father, and I left him. And I felt horrible because I didn't give, this guy was a model, beautiful, the most beautiful. And I said, come back, let's finish this together. So I want anybody that is going to watch this, I don't know if it's tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, he's going to come back. I'm already married with a guy, and this is my soulmate, and this is not existing for anybody because he's not here, but he is about. Something is going to happen because he is about. Because I don't believe God doesn't want me to be my ultimate God being and experience life to the full. I need to have, my twin flame with me. And this is the person who's going to come back. Either it's going to be a widow or it's going to be, I don't know what's going to happen, but this is the person reincarnating.
I think he's waiting for you in Florida somewhere. Somewhere on the beach in Florida, I would say. I don't know the exact city, but I'm sensing Florida.
I'll pack my bags and you show me the way. Because I tell you what, Joe, I'm going to say something live for somebody who's watching. Please laugh with me and celebrate. I put my date on the dating site. I've deleted the app already. I couldn't do it, right?
I put Diana's comment up. It pertains exactly to what you just said. She said, we need to start learning to accept that good and amazing things happen to us. And there you're like, oh, if I removed my dating site profile, I just couldn't do it. It's like,
Wait.
How would you know if it's not amazing or not if you don't push through you got to get through the resistance.
I haven't finished because, bizarre enough, I put my location to be London, and guess what? I've attracted two. Oh my gosh, I thought these guys are not real. How can I was like, I am that hot? I've attracted a guy who was so hot. It was like, oh my, and guess what? Not even from England. Two American guys said, this America is calling for me, okay? I'm ready, I'll pack and go. I'm not, when I delete the app, the guy asked me to add him on WhatsApp, and I haven't replied since. So I've got lots of messages saying, where are you? Vanished. And I was not replying. And I'm single. I just finished a relationship. I would not force anything that is not for me. What is for me will come. And I believe maybe it's in Florida, maybe it's in America. I don't know, but manifesting life right here for everyone, all right?
Perfect, perfect. Yes, it's the he will arrive when he's supposed to arrive. You know,
Exactly.
time is irrelevant. I
Exactly.
I personally believe that we live like we don't actually age unless we choose to do it. Like, for instance, you're in perhaps the perfect image of who you want to be right now. And who's
Exactly.
to say that while it seems like each day is playing itself out and you're getting older, in actuality, you're never changing. You're repeating kind of, you're staying at this age and it's lasting thousands of years. We just perceive it as one day at a time.
Yeah.
You know, it's all time is it's just how you perceive it. It's how you choose to view it, you know, in terms of is it a day? Is it 10 years? Is it 1,000 years? You know, it's relative. That's what I was looking for. So don't rush it. Whenever we
No,
try to rush it, we
no,
screw it up. You
no.
know,
I've never, honestly, because I never been like desperate. Like all my friends come to me. I should create some branding on how to help a relationship, because every single girl that I know behind the scenes come to ask me for rescue, how to do this, how to do that, and I was like, oh my god, do I have this gift even though I'm single? Looks like I have. Okay, looks like I have, because I have so much. And this is again a reality that some people see it on me. Sally's saying something, or she's going on Facebook and do something. I don't know. But yeah, guys and girls, this subject is so intense because time is just an illusion. We can do anything with whatever. I mean, at the moment, I've got a lot of resistance because I need to finish my building. And the reason I want to finish is for a good cause, right? Because I have already planned out my life. I know how it's going to be, because you have to put a plan together. But sometimes I'm a bit too desperate, and when I'm too desperate, it is every single time when things slow down. For anybody who's watching, do not hurry. Just trust it, let it go, and say okay in your own time. But now I say, look, I've been here 2 years now, enough.
that's a great point. You know, don't rush it. Enjoy the present moment. Enjoy where we're at. But at the same time, I think people get confused with the idea of doing nothing versus taking action to make things happen. You know, it's like I'm content where I'm at. Like I know everything's happening the way it's supposed to happen. I'm not going to rush it. But that doesn't mean we just sit back, meditate, and
No, no, no,
all
no.
will happen. You
Oh,
still have to take action and make movements in the direction you want to go,
yeah,
right?
but times for someone that is listening, there is a small little issue that I face the time and time again. Sometimes there are jobs that we need to fulfill, but they're out of our control. So what I've done now, learning, so somebody's listening, please listen. If your life depends on it, like for example, I can't do things without my builders, right? They have to do it. I can't do it. And if the builders say can't come, you create a reality the why they should come. I've talked to my builder last week and I said, if I have good energy around me, I can create good weather. I told him this already, right? I'm open to my new reality. I don't have a problem to speak about it. I said, look, if your energy is good, I can create this weather for us. I just need good energy around me, because listen, you observing them, but they observing you. It's all so sometimes our life depends on others, and therefore we need to manifest for others. They need to understand where you are, so they will collaborate with you. Where before I used to go against, like, oh, you mother, you shouldn't do this, you don't done that. Why you don't do this? Why not? It doesn't go anywhere. It just creates more resistance, because the other person gets stressed. They
Right.
don't have attitude. So everything is how we do it. There's a
Yes.
way to do it.
Tina and Michelle both said good energy, positive, positivity. You know, yeah, we align. Our flow states align and harmonize with similar energy. So of course, you know, when we're in disalignment, when we're butting heads with somebody, that energy is not aligning. It's like putting two batteries together, or magnets together with opposite polarities, and it's pushing. But
Yeah.
when we harmonize and we change our thoughts, we change our energies to work with the collective, whoever that may be, the
Yeah.
2, 3, 10 people, whatever, when everybody's working on the same page, that energy aligns and then the magnetizes, brings it all together,
Yeah.
makes anything possible at that point. I think it's, what's the Bible verse where whenever two or more of my people are gathered, basically we have the power, not saying we can on our own do it, but I think it goes to saying a lot about the power of two people, two energies together, maybe polarizing positive, feminine and masculine energies, harmonizing all of that to create a superpower, basically. I don't know. That's an interesting thought to dive down on a different show, I betcha.
Yeah. I mean, thank you so much for everyone that was here, because I really enjoyed talking about this subject, although I did not know how I was going to say things about, but everything that we speak, or everything that I speak anyway, I speak for myself, everything is my reality that I've created. Everything is my wisdom given to me personally, not copies or repeats from everybody else that I see or I watch or I hear. It's everything is me, and I only speak from my experience. And I'm so grateful that some of you are having the curiosity to learn more from us, because this is some amazing world, and these realities that we already shift, us that are here today, tonight, we already live in a new reality. We not longer live by the fear, by the manipulation, by the news even, because a lot of people are putting things like, oh, this guy is evil. And when I speak to somebody about he's not evil, he's just bombarding the places where the ships are, where they want to create these things, the new global order, and there's unfortunately these children about. I'm saying this over and over and over again. He decided to play this role. He decided to be, okay, I'm going to be hated by everyone, but it's all about a war that is unseen by the Americans and the Russians, and the Ukrainians are making the play, because the Americans have the thing in there, the base of these ships and of these vaccines, whatever you call it, and Putin is not even vaccinated. He's like us, he's sovereign. So he's not that stupid. The guy is not that dumb. He's not an assassin, as people call it. Unfortunately, yes, he's killing people, but this is his play. This is what he volunteered to come to do. And we can't judge him. We can't judge no one. It's just a reality. And this is probably not existing anyway. It's just a play that he's playing, and everybody's playing a part on it. So thank you.
I agree completely. Thank you, everybody watching. We had Diana tuning in today, Michelle Pruitt, Tina, Harvey was here. We had a few more. Let's see. I know we had Sally joining in. And Mary Goebel joined us for a little while. And I know we had some.
She's wonderful.
Yes. So yeah, we had a good turnout today. We really enjoyed this. Oh, Sveta Hussein looks like she joined in.
Thank you.
So yeah, we had a great turnout today. Much loved everybody. And kind of in closing, what Liliana was just saying, just use discernment in everything we're being shown at this point in time. Everything in our reality that we're creating is building us to this moment. Yeah. And the things that we're seeing may or may not be real. They may be completely make-believe. They may be factual. Use discernment with everything and just go inwards and use the love within you to imagine and create the world you want to see, and allow that to begin harmonizing with all of us, so we can quickly build this world into the reality we want, instead of the reality we're having to deal with, because this is all just part of the process. Remember, everything is happening for us, whether it looks like it's not. It is. We have to believe it. We have to trust in it, and we just have to move forward with love. Exactly. Until next time, guys. Any last words?
No, thank you. And turn off the television.
Yes, turn it off. You won't miss anything this week. I promise. Nothing will be revealed this week that won't still be there next week. So until next time, guys, remember to tune in Tuesdays, 12 p.m. Central, and we will do this again. We love you all, and always ask yourself, what reality are you choosing to create today? Bye now.
Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Joey.